second you find something concerning, get an appointment. And if somebody tells you they can't see you for a while, push that and be more adamant about getting in sooner.
Jenny Giese of Boise was just 37 years old when she was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. This Boise mom of two young boys is now documenting her journey on Instagram. It's a raw and real look at what having cancer really looks like. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Maggie O'Mara has her inspiring message for all of us tonight in our 7's Hero.
Can you look right there? Say good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you give a big smile? Hello. Cheese. Good job. What is that? Is that a big light?
Like so many women, Jenny Giese discovered a lump in her own breast. She had just had her second son.
The lump went away, so we assumed that it was related to breastfeeding, clogged milk duct, something like that. But then the lump came back, and we discovered that it was in fact breast cancer.
At just 37 years old, she couldn't believe what she was hearing.
I'm not going to lie, I just initially was like, I'm too young, this can't possibly be breast cancer. We first did 20 weeks of chemo, which was 2 different chemo drugs, and that was what chemo is. It was difficult, but we got through it. And after that, I had a bilateral mastectomy as well as an axillary lymph node dissection, which is just a removal of a series of lymph nodes. And that took a lot of time to heal. But once I was able to heal, we followed that up with some radiation. And after that, I was kind of starting to feel pretty good. But then I started to experience some really debilitating lower back pain and pain in my right hip, like at the beginning of June. We thought it was a side effect of my oral chemo, but then it just got so bad. I eventually went to the emergency room, and then after some scans and biopsies, they discovered that it had metastasized to my bones.
Stage 4 cancer. Jenny and her husband Dustin were stunned.
We are, at this point, just hoping for the continued advancement of treatment options that will prolong my life for as long as possible. It's just as difficult for him as it is for me.
I stopped working, I took time off, and I became a kind of a full-time dad so that she could focus all of her attention on just getting better.
I think it's been a little bit easier for me to open up and talk with people than it has been for Dustin.
That's what I was gonna say. It's kind of hard. I don't know if it's a male-female kind of thing and that men kind of like bottle up and that you don't really reach out for help.
I had a very difficult time connecting with people who had a story like mine. It was hard to find women who were young, who had young children, and who were going through this journey. So I started looking just for people that I could relate to.
She found that on social media and decided to start sharing her own story on Instagram.
I was like really nervous and scared about each step of the process, like shaving my head. That was such a daunting experience. And so, I don't know, after making a video about it, I hoped that maybe someone else who was going to be soon going through something like that might watch it and see that, you know, that was an incredibly traumatic experience for me. But now, you know, I've moved forward. Can there be a positive side of this? Well, not really. So you have to sort of make one. And our positive side is just living in the present and making the most of every day.
Her positivity is truly inspiring.
And I think that that has been a vital component in helping me through this. I know it's coming. I know my days are numbered. I'm just not ready to be there yet. And I feel good, and we feel good. And until the time that we need to think about that, we're just not going to think about that. So we are just living every day to the fullest right now, as we all should do, because no one's really guaranteed tomorrow. And so it sounds cliche to say, like, yeah, we're living in the present and we're taking it day by day, but we all should kind of live that way.
Okay.
And during this precious time, this devoted mom of 2 is determined to make memories for her little boys.
I try to document a lot of things for the boys. This is where I'm gonna get emotional. They're so young right now that we're still trying to just sort of develop ways that they'll be able to remember their mom and remember our family as it was. For us, we're kind of focusing on like a live list Just some things to do and to experience together in life before we don't have the time to do so.
Jenny has a special message for everyone watching this story.
I would just say, like, slow down, and people should reflect more on how they spend their day. And if you're not spending it with the people that you love and doing the things you love, then you might want to, you know, take a step back and reevaluate.
Jenny Giese.
She touches everyone she comes in contact with, she touches and leaves an imprint on. She really is a huge, huge light.
Wife, mom, cancer warrior, and our Sevens hero.